finally time for our au pair interview series.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Then maybe let us start with a short introduction. Could you please tell our audience who you are, how old are you, where are you from?
My name is Blessing. I'm 24 years old and I'm from Nigeria.
And you told me and our team that you have been an au pair in Russia, right?
Yes, actually, I'm in Russia and I'm studying in Russia. So, earlier this year, I came about au pair and I decided to try it out. Then I decided to try it with the country I'm already in just to see how it works out. And luckily for me, I got a family here in Russia, but in another city. And so, yeah, that's how I started my
Wow,
journey.
so you have already been to Russia, then decided to become an au pair, and then you were an au pair in Russia.
Yes, I'm already in Russia for 3 years and a few months.
Ah, okay. That's perfect. And how did that come? Like, why did you want to become an au pair?
I'm always looking out for some things new. And since I came to Russia, I've always felt out of place. Like, okay, it's a new culture, it's a new everything. I just wanted to give myself a chance to experience the people and not just, okay, I go to school and I come back and I don't know anything about the people, maybe feeling scared or something. So going into a family, living with a Russian family, it was a huge challenge that I'm so excited I went through. And also, I teach English as part-time teacher here in Russia, and it was like a perfect opportunity to combine two things that I do so much and I love and get the experience that I wanted. So there was nothing more perfect than that for me to do. So yeah.
Wow, wow, that's fascinating. May I ask you, what did you do before in Russia? How did you come to Russia?
I came as a student, a scholarship student. So basically, I go to school and then I work part-time as a teacher, English teacher, as I told you before. So that's basically the two things I did in Russia.
And did you need a new visa to become an au pair, or could you stay on the same visa?
No, I could stay on the same visa. I didn't need any new visa because I was already in Russia. So there is no need for a new visa.
Okay, that's very convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were so yeah, like fascinated that an au pair from Nigeria comes to Russia. That's very rare. Like we never heard of an au pair from Nigeria to Russia. So really cool.
Mhm.
And how did everything go? Do you already speak Russian? Did the family speak English to you? How did that work?
I already speak Russian, but my Russian is not that good. But luckily for me, the mother of the home, she speaks English. Her English is it's the same level with my Russian, but it was perfect because I didn't need to speak Russian all the time, and she didn't need to speak English all the time if she wasn't comfortable. But the point was for me to teach the kids, speak to the kids in English language. We do our lessons every day. We go for walks, and I try to communicate to the kids in English language. So in general, it wasn't difficult at all in aspect of the language because when the mother can't understand, I try to speak in Russian language. So yeah, that's basically it. My task was to we agreed on 7 hours in 24 hours to spend with the family. So I have lessons with the kids. There were three kids, twin girls and a boy. So it's one lesson per kid in a day. So 3 hours for like a formal lesson. Then the rest of the time we just spend together, maybe play games or take walks or go to the sea and try to speak less of Russian to them and more of conversational English while we're going on walks and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically what I did there. And it worked perfectly well because it went into the time there was a quarantine, like the pandemic. So we planned that I would come there during summer, but then it happened that we had 2 weeks break. They said, okay, we are going to have 2 weeks break because of the pandemic, and then we'll come back. So she was like, okay, can you come in that 2 weeks so you can see if you like our family and we like you, if we can work together? So I went there for 2 weeks, but then it ended up that the and then go back home to my city and then come back during summer. But it happened that the pandemic continued and then I had to stay there. She asked me after the 2 weeks, would you like to go back? Because now the planes are still working now, or would you like to stay back? I'm like, sure, if you don't have a problem with it, I can stay back. It was perfect. So that's how I stayed back, and it was meant to be 3 months, but I stayed 4 months because of the pandemic, and they also wanted me to stay. So there was no need going back. So yeah, that's how it happened.
Wow. And did you have any doubts or fear before joining a Russian family?
Actually, I might be crazy. The truth is, when I was applying and everything, I wasn't afraid. But then the fear came in when I went to the airport and then the husband picked me up. I was like, okay, girl, you're crazy, you know. And then they lived in such an isolated area. It's like a summer house. So it's not to the city and stuff. So when he picked me up and we're gonna like many things I run into my mind. Okay, what if it's kidnappers? What if you get killed? Girl, you're how did you just come all the way from your city to another city and you don't even know these people and they picked you up? And I was scared at that moment. That was when I was scared. But then when we came to the house and I said, okay, they are real people, they are not bad people, I was relaxed. But of course, then the next day it was weird because it's a new house. I don't know these people. And I was worried of how I'm going to start to get used to them. Will I get used to them? Will they get used to me? Are we going to have misunderstandings and stuff like that? But it just went normal. It went not so weird. Of course, at some point it was weird, but not as weird as I thought it was going to be. The kids, they really warmed up to me, and I don't know, it was surprising. I think it also helped because the kids travel a lot, so they have seen like different types of people. So it wasn't weird. I was really more worried about the kids because I've seen many Russian kids on the street and the way they look at you like an alien, like, and you know they're kids and innocent, and some questions they ask might be uh, a little bit annoying to adults and stuff like that. But the kids I went to, I think they're more exposed than your average Russian kid. So they just saw you as another person in the family. What's the big deal and stuff like that. So yeah,
So the fears were there, but no reason to fear anything once you joined the family.
no reason at all. Yeah, and
Great. And how long did the search go? Like, how many months or weeks did you need to find a good family?
the search, I think it went for 2 months, but that was because I wasn't actually serious with it. I come to the site because I read in the site if you want to get a family, you should send a request to at least 20 families in a day and stuff like that. So I wasn't that serious because school was on. I was just trying my luck to see. And but when we were getting news of the pandemic, I started being more serious, sending requests and stuff and everything. And actually, I didn't send to this family. They came to me when I got them. They came to my profile and they sent a message to me. But I think it's because a lot of family have visited my page because I sent lots of invite and stuff like that. So for me to get this family, it wasn't difficult when I was actually serious with finding a family. Yeah,
Mhm. That's very good to hear. Like 2 months is not a long time for looking for a host family, actually.
I feel that.
And what was your, like, did you even have a typical day or was every day different?
Uh, I would say 50-50. Some days are different because some days we might wake up. The typical day was supposed to be wake up, have breakfast, do our lessons 3 hours, like 1 hour for each kid, and then do whatever we want with the day for the 7 hours we agreed on. But some days we might wake up and the kids go to trainings, tennis trainings, and I don't go with them to the tennis training. They just go and then come back, and then our day have to start around noon and end in the evening. Sometimes they have extra things to do out of the house, and then we have to have lessons at night. Sometimes we go to yacht ride, or the whole family go for walks and stuff like that. Because it was a pandemic, we didn't really have a lot of outdoor things to do, but we managed to go to yacht ride 2 times, and we managed to go to the mall that was still open at some point, go to some new places and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's quite exceptional being an au pair during the pandemic. It's very
Yeah.
different.
Yes. My host mom was really worried. She's like, "Oh, I feel so sorry. You don't. There was no much thing to show you in this pandemic and stuff like that." So yeah, it was different.
Mhm. And do you feel different now towards other Russians? Did you manage to like find more Russian friends, maybe now that you have joined and lived with a Russian host family?
Yes. Now I'm more open to being more than hello, hi to Russians. I'm more open to talk with them because I've lived with a family and I understand their culture, their character a bit. Some of the things I found annoying because of them, I don't find it that quite. I'm like, okay, it's them, it's different people. That doesn't mean they have any bad intentions or anything otherwise. It's just what it is. So I found myself to be more open and more communicative with Russians because before I used to avoid any communication that is not straight to the point, like extra talks, small talks with Russians because I feel like we don't understand each other. But now I understand their psychology more than it was before. So it's really helped me.
Mm. Are you still in touch with the family?
Yes, we still talk once in a while. Now they have left because the city I was at is called Sochi, and they don't live in that city. It's just like their rest area. They live in another city. So the last time we talked, they said, "Oh, they've gone back to their city where they stay. The kids have started school, and stuff like that." We do get in touch once in a while.
Mhm. Oh, that's very beautiful to hear. And how was the culture shock in general? I mean, you have already lived in Russia, so I think it's a bit like less of a culture shock to join a family after 3 years living in that country. But how is Russia or Russian people different from Nigeria or Nigerian people?
The culture shock. Let me start with the food, for
It's
example.
always the food.
Like when we buy things from the market, we wash it. We Even if we buy it from the mall where it's packaged and everything, we still wash it and we put salt and wash it. But then I see my host mom, she just opens it most times and just cook it. I'm like, and She saw me washing my fruit with salt. She's like, don't you do it. Like, what are you doing? You're putting salt in your fruit. I'm like, I'm just washing it. I'm not actually going to eat with the salt because it's like a culture where we believe that salt removes whatever that is dirt and stuff. So she was like, okay. And then I see the husband, he eats like that. I'm like, this is from the market. Many people probably touched it. So that was number one cultural shock. And then another cultural shock is I don't know, maybe it's just my family, host family, or maybe it's every Russian. When they find you like a family, close one, someone they can trust, when you tell them something, if you don't tell them it's a secret, don't expect it to be a secret. Like everybody close to them is going to hear it. Like when you tell them an experience, um, everybody is going to hear it. So, for example, when I came to Russia, I lost some weight. So I showed my host mom pictures. We were talking about how my host dad lost weight too, and she showed me his pictures before and after. So when he showed me, like, oh, I have some pictures too. I showed her the pictures, and I was putting on like not so appropriate clothes, like house clothes and stuff. But it's because it's my host mom and their family. I showed her. So when we had a guest that was very close family friend, like, oh, do you know when Blessing came to Russia, she lost some weight in the first year because she didn't like Russian food. Wait, Blessing, show him the picture. I'm like, okay. I brought another picture that I was properly dressed. I'm the same size, but I'm properly dressed. Like, no, 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 not this one. The other one, like, no, I was looking like a crazy person. I only showed you because you were a female and besides you were like family now. So yeah, and some other things. Once you say something, if you don't want it to be heard by someone else close to them, tell them like, okay, this is for your ears only. If you don't, they assume that okay, any close person can hear it. That's another like cultural thing I recognized. I'm sure I have so many others, but right now my brain can't remember all of them. So, yeah,
But you survived it well.
yes, I did survive. I did survive. Yeah.
Cool. What did you say? Like, what did you learn during your time as an au pair in Russia? What did you take with you?
I just took with me that when I get to a new place, I feel like if if I had been had more knowledge than I had now and be more open-minded, I could have enjoyed all those 3 years better than I did in Russia, had more positive than negative experience. So I just took from my au pair stay that when I get when I see myself in a new place, maybe forget a little bit of what I know before and try to understand the people, try to immerse yourself a little. Then when you don't like something, don't engage in it. But like, don't be scared to immerse yourself a little in their thinking, in their way of life, and don't be scared of losing who you are. Because I was scared of losing myself when I came to Russia. Because in Russia there is no parents, there is nobody. It's you and you alone. So that's fear of losing who I was made me to stay a distance from the people and their culture and stuff like that. So, but now I'm more open-minded. So yes, and also in the teaching aspect, it has really opened my mind to learn more. For example, when I'm talking with I'm a native speaker, so when I'm teaching English, there is some certain ways I teach it. But when I was with my host mom, it's made me work more on uh, grammar and stuff like that. Some things that I didn't see as a problem because she can speak well, but she knows a lot about like grammar, construction, stuff like that. So to go more on trainings and have more knowledge of some things.
And my final question, would you do it again?
Yes, absolutely. Especially in another country. Now that I've done it in a country that I'm in, I'm more excited to try it in another country that is it's totally new, totally more challenging than Russian because in Russian, obviously I speak Russian, so it wasn't that much of a difficulty, and the food wasn't that much of a difference because I've tried many Russian food and cooked some myself. So I'm actually more excited now to try it again, the au pair in another country. So yeah, of course, definitely yes.
Oh, so we still have you in the team au pair.
Yes,
That's great.
yes, it
Okay.
is good.
Yeah, thank you so much for the interview. I think it's very insightful for everyone, not only the people who want to become an au pair in Russia, but in general. And I think your story is so, so nice and so inspiring. So thank you very much for taking the time. And yeah,